attacks into the actual body bag. And then they couldn't get Darby Allin in, and it just got really goofy.
It looked like Darby was trying to zip himself up at one point, like cupping the bag around his head.
And then I also have the whole Jake the Snake using Kingston's fear of snakes against him.
Hitting him with the bag.
Again, it was a good idea, but yeah, it came off really corny, very 80s style, and you could just tell there wasn't a snake in there.
There better have not been a snake
I'm guessing it's the classic hamburger and pantyhose is what I'm guessing it was.
Yeah.
I know that's what they used when Earthquake, quote-unquote, killed Damien back in the day. Of course, they didn't have him kill the snake. It was hamburger and pantyhose. So I don't know. That came off really cheesy. And then I don't think we even mentioned Archer won. But hey, did you realize that your guy and my guy were in the final 3?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was kind of cool. Your guy Matt Seidel was the third to last eliminated, and it came down to Archer and Kingston. And so many times in just that short amount of time, it looked like Eddie Kingston was going to win it.
I know.
But, Archer ended up pulling it out. Wasn't happy about that. Both for me wanting Eddie Kingston and for me not wanting Archer to win it. So.
Not to mention that, but we also saw kind of the beginnings of a breakdown between Penta, El Zero M, and Phoenix, which continued on AEW Dynamite with Eddie Kingston trying to bring everybody back together. But I'm looking forward. Like, it's a faction that I like. But if it implodes and if it winds up with Penta going on a singles run, I'm totally happy with that. Penta versus Moxley would be some of the best wrestling I think anybody's ever seen.
Oh, amazing. I think we just talked about that last week.
Yep.
Yeah. Another thing I wasn't too thrilled about this with Archer winning, you pretty much, it foreshadowed the outcome of the main event. You knew exactly who was going to win the main event because... I mean, well, I guess I won't stay spoilers.
Well, you already said it. It's over now.
It's pretty much obvious, I mean, we know who Archer isn't going to face in a main event for the title between MJF and Moxley, so I gave this a C, and that's, I mean, Battle Royals
for a Battle Royal, that's a good grade.
Yeah, they got to be extravagant to get into B's. Nothing was really bad other than a handful of botches. Of course,
yeah, the Seidel botch and the Darby Allin body slam outside the ring is probably what drug it down for me, grade-wise. But overall, I think it was good. Probably one of the best Battle Royals they've put on in AEW.
Then we got a Broken Rules match. Matt Hardy defeated Sammy Guevara. Boy, I gave this a fucking F grade. It was right away at the beginning, less than 5 minutes in.
Yeah.
Matt Hardy gets thrown off a scissors lift, misses the table completely, and lands straight on the fucking back of his head.
Yeah, there was even 2 tables down there, wasn't there? So
there was 2 tables.
Yep.
His feet hit one of them, the farther one. But that didn't help his poor noggin.
No, that had hit the ground, and then they did the playback, and he didn't even get his head up.
Not at all. Straight down, and he was knocked unconscious.
Didn't move for like 45 seconds.
They threw up the X and everything. They got people out there. They called the match off. The match was over, and then nobody can explain this to me in rational thought. They restarted the fucking match after seeing Matt Hardy couldn't even stand up and walk.
Yeah. Yeah, and Tony Khan comes out and says that the doctor didn't find any signs of a concussion. Well, it's a little too fucking soon, don't you think?
Well, and I could see signs of fucking concussion.
Yeah.
Son of a bitch. How about when his head hit the fucking concrete? Is that a sign?
I think it is.
It was pretty sad.
Watching Matt try to stand up and walk away, that is he had the 1,000-yard stare, glassy eyes, couldn't hardly keep his balance.
Oh, he fell down
concussion
like 3
fucking
times.
City. Yeah,
he took like 2.5 steps and fell down 3 different times. They finally got him to a point where he could stand up, and I said this that night. I've said it to everybody I've talked to about this. I am sure, I have no doubt in my mind, Matt Hardy told them he was good to go. But in this day and age, especially when you're that big of a company, this isn't no little rinky-dink, 200 people in the audience watching. Well, there probably was only 200, but that doesn't count. This is a legitimate company.
They say 1 to 2,000 with the 10-15% capacity.
They didn't make it in that ring.
I don't think they had that many people there, but that's what I think they said on Dynamite.
Yeah, no, this match. I mean, it was a bad match for the reason that he couldn't wrestle. They ended up making it work. They still had him fucking climb up.
They had people help him climb up it.
Yeah,
to push Sammy Guevara off through the box.
So
the scaffolding at ringside.
Yeah, why would you fucking? You shouldn't let him climb up that scaffolding.
No.
So,
that would have been the test, I think. I think if he wanted to be hard-headed and shit, I'd be like, okay, whatever, do what you got to do. And then when he needed help to climb up the scaffolding, that's when I would have been like, nope, you're done.
Well, I mean, you can say that, but you look at Mick Foley's Hell in a Cell, and he climbed up the cell twice when he was unconscious.
Yeah.
You know, the guy took a thumbtack spot. At the end of the match, he comes through the curtain, and the first thing he says is, I'm sorry I didn't get the thumbtack spot in, while he's covered in thumbtacks. You know? Yeah, this was a disgrace to pro wrestling. 100%.
It was really bad. It's the first real black mark on AEW, I think, in my book.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's not as big of a black mark, but I think just allowing fans in is a pretty big black mark right now. But,
well, it's Florida. That's my thing is like, if California can be on fire, Florida can have fans at wrestling shows. Whatever.
I guess. I didn't notice. I'll just shoehorn this in here. A lot of times when they showed the fans, they weren't wearing masks at all. So
right,
Whatever.
And they're pretty close together. They say that that's just the groups who come together, but I don't buy that for a second.
Sure, yeah. You know that
you don't go to a wrestling show with your 20 best friends.
Right? Wrestling fans don't have 20 friends. They have one.
Right, and they do podcasts with them.
Exactly. Let's move on to bigger and better things, Pasty. What do we got
boy.
Next?
Then we have the AEW Women's Championship match, seeing Hikaru Shida retain her gold against the Thunder Rosa.
Such a fun, good match.
This was such a good match. It could have been better. It could have been longer.
Should have been better. Should have been. It could have been longer. I don't know. 17 minutes is pretty solid.
It is. But, I mean, this is essentially a champion versus champion match.
Go ahead.
With a featured guest from NWA. I mean, I think you put that on a silver platter.
See, part of the reason that I was kind of disappointed with this, and I have it in my notes right here, I said that I think the match fell apart towards the end, and I've been putting here, that's probably due to them having to wrestle extra time that they didn't expect to because of them cutting down the Hardy match so quickly. Yeah. I'm sure that broken match was meant to be much longer than it was.
Yeah, I wonder what we missed that would have been in it that would have made it, super special, because all we saw was a couple of spots,
And maybe if both these women knew they were going to do a 17-minute match, it could have been better. I'm sure they had to just throw shit in or make shit go longer, So that's not their fault, but it's also pro wrestling, and they're two veterans and they're two professionals, and they should be able to handle that. But it was a good, hard-fought wrestling match. Shida's trying to establish herself as the face of the division, and this is a good way to do that right now. Rosa was very impressive, probably more so than Shida, but I absolutely love Thunder Rosa. And she proved she belongs under a big spotlight. Not that I have any problem with her being an NWA, but she definitely shines on a major stage as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think it worked. I think they were throwing a curveball. Obviously they were. This match had to go long.
Yeah, I don't understand how anybody could have competed after Matt Hardy's spill. Like, that'd be tough.
Yeah,
I'd be so shaken.
Out of the audience.
Yeah.
But solid. I gave it a B, and I thought it was a good B.
Mm-hmm.
Good B.
Yes. I'd like to see some more of them work together.
Then we had... Oh, go ahead, take her.
Okay. Then we had the 8-man tag team match. I don't know why I keep taking these.
Just take them.
The Natural Nightmares, Dustin Rhodes, QT Marshall, Matt Cardona, Scorpio Sky, defeated the Dark Order's Brody Lee, Colt Cabana, Evil Uno, and Stu Grayson because Colt Cabana's a fool and can't follow orders, Fat Mac.
Damn it, Colt.
If he would have just did the discus clothesline or whatever the fuck.
And I think he used to be an officer of the law.
I like this, and I don't know. I like Colt Cabana and the cult, and I like the fact that he's not going to work out and he's going to be kicked out of the cult because of who he is. And to me, that's awesome. Like, Colt Cabana's the only guy who could be rejected by a cult. And I think that's cool. I did not expect the Natural Nightmares to win.
No,
I don't have so much to say about this match, more so the promo afterwards where Tony Schiavone is like, hey, Dustin, you got a match next week against Brody Lee. And Dustin's like, what? I mean, the rest of the Dustin promo was pretty good, but he had to, like, lead Tony Schiavone on to, like, saying the things he was supposed to say to make the promo line up right. And, like, I don't know, that was kind of funky.
I didn't watch that at all. I just went from match to match, so I didn't see any of the in-between stuff. But that's funny.
It was good stuff. It was like a classic Dusty promo, but the work by Schiavone was lacking, and that hurt it pretty bad.
That's sad. I love old Schiavone.
The Dustin Rhodes versus Brody Lee match, though, that is worth watching on Dynamite. If you haven't seen it yet, go back, watch it. Dustin Rhodes held his fucking own 90% of that match.
That sounds good. I'm going to go catch that one for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is all right. 8-man tag matches are rarely, if ever, going to be A matches. I mean, it just doesn't work that way. You got too many people trying to get stuff in. Not enough story to tell. And I put on here, too, I think this one probably went longer than it expected to. I'm guessing they split it up between the women's match and this one. 15 minutes doesn't seem long for 8 guys, but it seemed to drag and wasn't as... With some of the guys in here, it just seemed slow, and these guys aren't slow guys. So I feel like some of that was in there. But, you got Cabana's story in there with, him have, like you said, he's going to be kicked out of the Dark Order. The Dark Order's been so strong that I really feel it was a mistake to have them lose here. And I guess other than, I'm sure Brody Lee beat Goldust, I wonder where this is going to take them,
Yeah. Yeah. It's definitely interesting. I do like the Colt Cabana stuff. I like the Dark Order storylines. To me, it's so fitting to have like a comic book or a cartoon supervillain group in professional wrestling, and it's funny and it fits well. And
I never did see how Cabana fit with the Dark Order, but I think that's what
I think that's the point.
With.
Yeah, that's definitely the point. Here, like, he doesn't fit anywhere. He joined AEW, he tried to fit in, he tried to be Kenny Omega's friend. That didn't work, so he started basically photobombing all of Kenny Omega's spots on being the Elite. And then the Dark Order tried to pick him up, and since Kenny Omega wasn't having any of his shit, he's like, yeah, I'll go with them, I guess. It's tasty, and I didn't know how Colt Cabana was gonna do in AEW, but I like what is coming of it. It's a great mid-card story that just it fits and it works and it's fun.
And that's Cabana's place. I don't think Cabana needs a main event spot. I don't think that's who he is. That's who his character is. I think he's great at holding up the mid-card and being one of your solid mid-card guys.
Yeah.
I gave this one a C+. It was, it's an 8-man tag. It can only be so good, but it was all right. Probably
plus, having Colt Cabana in AEW is a great jab for CM Punk not signing, right?
That is true. That is definitely true. Oh, what do we got next, Pasty?
Oh, I called this one. You call that one.
All right, we got the Tag Team Championship match. FTR defeating Adam Page and Kenny Omega to win the titles.
God damn. This is everything I hoped for when AEW said they were going to have a tag division. This was not so knockout. Adam Page and Kenny Omega, even though they are on rough terms at the beginning of this, and at the end of it, spoilers, they still work together so well.
Yeah, they did. They worked together very well while still giving you the story of there being dissension.
Yes. And it's good. And FTR came out at the end the best tag team, and they are.
Oh yeah.
This